because I value myself enough to give 120% or don't do it. And that's the problem with some of you.
Hey yo, what's going on, bro? Welcome back to another video. Now, today's video, it's a little bit different. You can choose to think that I'm lying to you, or you can just choose to just see the truth, bro. Because at the end of it, I'm going to speak my truth, bro. And this is what actually did happen to me. So, I'm going to be talking about my ex-girlfriend that actually did try to get me into witchcraft and Freemason. And this is actually real, bro. I've been holding this story. I've been looking for the perfect time to actually tell my story. And I feel like this is the best platform to actually tell my story. So I'm gonna try to make this as vivid as possible, especially for the ones who never had any spiritual experience at all, because there's people out here who's never had any spiritual experience at all. Like, if you tell them stuff like this, they probably think that you tripping, that you're seeing things and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, bro, this is actually real. So without no further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So man, if you're new here, kindly subscribe to the channel. And also, bro, if you like this video, go ahead and give it that smash like button. So let's go ahead and get it started. So I met my ex in Mirama. That's in Nairobi. Now, for the ones who've actually never been to Nairobi, Mirama is actually it's in the capital. It's one of those mini towns in Nairobi, in the capital. So let me just explain this. Now, before I actually got together with a girl that introduced me to witchcraft, I was with another girl that I was very serious about. I even had plans to actually marry her. I had plans to take over to my mama and introduce her as a girl that I was going to marry, as a girl that I was going to have as a mother of my kids. Okay? So it got really serious. We even moved in together. But pretty much, like, everything was just down on me. Like, I was taking care of her. Like, the bills, I was paying the bills, the food, everything, bro. Like, I was the man in that relationship, like I should be. It wasn't about equality. It was more about chivalry. Okay. So, we're living together. So she had a best friend though. Her name was Toom. So she used to come over for those, like sleepovers, stuff like that. I'm sure that you guys, like, your girlfriend has like another friend that usually comes over for, like, sleepovers, watching movies, just hang out in general. So she used to come over sometimes. So she had come over a few times, and we started to get used to each other, like acquainted, like. So, like, now I knew her. I knew exactly who she was. So anytime that she come over, it wasn't weird like that or anything like that. Like, I knew she was my, my girlfriend's friend. So she came over a few times, and then there's this one time that she came over. She was looking for my girlfriend, but she wasn't around. So what happened is, my girlfriend had gone back home to, like, see her mother. So sometimes she used to go see her mother and maybe stay there for like a few days and come back. So at the time, when this girl, when her friend was coming over to look for her, she was gone. So she came over. I told her, like, my girlfriend wasn't around. So we chilled. At the time, I had a studio, bro. Like, I was broke, bro. Let me not lie to you. I was broke. I had that was my main bread, bro. Like, I had a few guys that was coming over, a few artists that I was recording at the time, bro. But the money wasn't enough, bro. The money wasn't enough, man. Like, obviously, I was making a few coins here and there, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to sustain me, bro. Like, I was money for rent, money for food, all that stuff. I got a girl. We got to go out. Girl, that girly stuff, man. Like, it was crazy, bro. So, in a way, man, I was kind of, like, suffering. I was suffering, bro. I was a hustler. I had nothing, bro. Like, for real. My mama just bought me. I had just finished campus, so my mama just bought me a piano. I just wanted to do music. Like, serious. I just wanted to do music. Music was the only thing in my head, bro. It was the top of my head, like, music, this is it. This is my life, bro. So she had just bought me a piano. I had a setting. I had some acoustic pads on the wall. I had a microphone. A studio setup, like a home studio setup. So when this girl came, we chilled. Like, I played a few of my beats, and then she told me there was a party. So where we stayed in, that place where I'm telling you is called Mirama. Like, it's really densely popular. There's a lot of people. Like, if someone was just walking over, they probably touch your shoulder, bro. You probably like run into each other because it's really populated. If y'all know about Nairobi, Nairobi really has a lot of people. It's really congested. So we went to, since like my girlfriend wasn't coming back home. I just figured like, let me go to that party. I was kind of bored, so we went there. Now to the girl now who actually introduced me to like witchcraft. So we went there, we chilled. I didn't know she was into that stuff, obviously, the first time when I went there. So we chilled. There was other girls in there, there was other dudes. So she introduced me to this girl. We started talking. She started asking me what I do. I told her like I do music, boom, boom. Like I told her I make beats. I have my own studio. She was actually very excited. She was amazed, bro. She was excited. So we started talking, man. We started hanging out. But let me just be honest, bro. Like I wasn't faithful to my girl at the time, bro. Like any girl that was pretty and had a dress and yes, bro. Like I would pass for that shit, bro. But that was the time, bro. I was a dog. But right now, obviously, bro, I'm straight. I'm different. So obviously, she was kind of pretty. So we hanged out. She told me that that I needed to like stay longer, have a few drinks, have a good time, all that talk. So we had a good time, had a few drinks, we chilled. She told me about she was doing journalism in KU in Kenyatta University. So she told me all about that. I told her about my music. Then now she started telling me about the other stuff, about the stuff, about the witchcraft stuff. But it wasn't like straightforward like that, telling me like she's into it like that. It was like, have you ever met someone that's trying to tell you something that's really serious, but they tell you bit by bit just to keep you going, not scare you like that? So that's what happened. So she started telling me about how she could read poems. That's where it started. So I was interested. I never met anyone can read poems. I thought that was a scam. Like all the other niggas that I heard like read poems and stuff, I thought that was a scam, bro. So I told her like I would be interested. I requested for her to read my poem and tell me about my future, but she told me very specific things about my past and about my future, especially about my past. That's the one that made me, register like, yo, shit, this is actually real. She told me very specific things about my mom, about my sister, about how my sister was gonna get a kid, about how I was gonna, and my sister right now has a kid. Like everything she said came true. So she told me how I'm gonna be successful, but I have a few obstacles that I gotta, that I gotta come over, and once I get over those things, I can get to my goals. Anyway, so we hanged out. She told me about that. Now, for the ones who never had any spiritual experience, I don't know how to explain this to you, like I said in the beginning of this video, because it's crazy, because everything that was happening, bro, like it's not physical. I don't understand what was going on, bro, but I just found myself there. There is no way I was all the way there. Like, I was just there, bro. Like, I was just hanging with this girl. She had my mind. It's like I was just, what's the name of that they use, which is they usually do, magnetize or something. I was just, it was just, it was some kind of enchantment or some shit. I don't know what the fuck was going on. But all I knew is I was there. And I didn't want to leave. I just wanted to stay there. So she read my poem, and then she told me that I could chill. I could stay over the night. Well, let me just be honest. I did sleep with her. Like, I did have intercourse with her. Like, we did some stuff with her. So, to me now, looking back at that was the first initiation ritual. Just doing that with her. Like, she had me from the go, bro. And remember at the time, I was a Christian, but I was a lukewarm Christian. So that means, like my faith wasn't as strong as right now. Like, I was just swimming in everything. Like I call myself a Christian, but deep down, bro, I just knew I was just a coward. I was a hypocrite, nothing, bro. Like, there was nothing Christian about me, bro. Like, for real. So we started hanging out. We slept together. We did the act, and then in the morning she told me that I need to stay longer. But I told her I need to go grab my clothes and then come back. There's something that she wanted to show me. So I went back to my place. I grabbed a few clothes. Now the party was over. Everybody that was at that party left. Even the girl that brought me there left. It's crazy, man. That's what I'm telling you. Like, I don't understand what was going on. So I went back to my crib, grabbed my clothes, and I came back. My girl was still back at that moment. So I came over, which back in my clothes, and then now she told me there's something that she wanted to show me, right? So she told me that since I was so much into music, she can help me like, grow. But I didn't understand like what she meant. So she told me that there's a few things that we can do to actually make my career escalate to a higher level. So she told me the first thing we need to do is get land together, like me and her. Now, since I had already kind of slept with her, I was kind of like, tuned towards her, lack of a better word. So we did the ritual of the blood. She pierced me here using a needle, like, one of those needles they use like in tailoring. Like, she pierced me here, she pierced herself, and then we kind of like, did the thing. So we were laying together, and then now things started happening, bro. So she told me whatever happens to me, it's gonna happen to her. It's kind of like we became a one thing. So now what happened is, that night I had a dream. So I had a dream I was on my bed, right? And then, cause the house was like a bed sitter. So a bed sitter means it's like it's in here. It means like there is like a toilet and a bathroom right there. So and the bed is right here. It's like a spacious room, but everything is just in one place. So that there's a bed right here, but there's no wall to like separate. There's a bed right here, and there's a toilet right there. There's a kitchen. So I had a dream I was sleeping in my bed, and then she was right there humming. So I tried to call to her so that she can hear me. So started walking to her, like I started walking to her as I called her, but she wasn't hearing it. She was still like humming. So I called her. She wasn't hearing it. So I thought the best thing is for me to get to her and touch her by the shoulder. But let me tell you something. The spirit realm feels way more realer than me talking to you right now. For anyone who's been there, you know what I'm talking about. Like that shit is intense, bro. Even the smallest thing ever, like, it's crazy. So I got to her and I touched her by the shoulders. Man, I cannot tell you how scared I was out of my mind, bro. When she turned around, you see the eyebrow, like this white thing was gone. It was all black. There was no white thing, bro. Like the whole thing was just black, bro. She turned around and then she told me, wake up. So when I woke up, I found her like she was holding me like a baby, and then she was just looking at me that weird. I was like, what the hell? Then I was all trenched up in sweat. I was covered in sweat, bro. So that was the first instance. But the funny thing is, I'm still there, bro. I'm still there. Like, I'm not leaving. It's like, it's crazy. It's witchcraft. So, the next day, I called up one of my homies. Like, his name is Andrew. Like, I was really close to him. He's Malawian, but he was in Kenya. So, close together because we did music together. So, he was one of the people I actually did trust when it came to things like this. But that's not the reason why I called him. I called him because I wanted to see my new girl. So the funny thing is, I was already having feelings with this girl so much that I wanted to deal with the other girl that I was serious about. And I told her it's over. It's crazy. I told her it's over after a few days of hanging with this other girl. So that's what I'm telling you, man. This stuff is just spiritual. There's nothing physical about it. So Andrew came over. We had a few drinks. So now Andrew has like, he had more experience when it comes to the spiritual side of it. At the time, I didn't have any spiritual discernment. I didn't understand any of this stuff. I didn't understand what the fuck I was looking at. I didn't understand what I was feeling. The dream that I just had about her humming by the sink, washing the sink. Like, I didn't understand any of that stuff. So what happened is, he came over and she told him that she can read poems. So she's like, okay, can you read mine? So she read Andrew's poem, but apparently she said like Andrew was blocking her, like she couldn't see Andrew's future. So that's one thing I wasn't understanding, but So funny thing is that after Andrew came over, we hanged out and he went back to his place. She started telling me things like, you shouldn't go back to Andrew, like that guy is negative, like I couldn't see his poem, like I couldn't read his poem, like there's something wrong about him, like he shouldn't even be your friend, you should actually end things with him. I was like, what the hell, man? Funny thing is that I was just following, bro, like I was just following like a slave, bro. I was doing exactly as she told me, bro. So what happened is I had another dream. After Andrew left, I was by the balcony, I was having a beer, right? So I told you this town is really congested, right? There's a lot of people. So Where I was standing was like a balcony, right? There was a lot of people. So I was having a beer, looking down there. There was a lot of people, right? So all of a sudden, everyone just disappeared. There was nothing. It became a ghost town. No one was there. So the whole town was empty. Empty, bro. Like no one. So like all of a sudden, like I started hearing like steps, like, you know, this. Have you? It sounded like in the movie, like where you hear like a giant coming over, like it feel like a stomp, you know. Like in B production, we have something called stomps. So it feels like a stomp, like. All I could see down there was a silhouette, but it was like kind of huge. But I couldn't tell what it was, but I knew it was huge. So it started coming up. So as it was coming up slowly. Then it started like escalating the speed. It started like poof, 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 poof. So I got scared, right? So I started running back to the door. The door was just behind me. So I started running to open the door, right? So I start hitting the door, telling Shadi to open the door for me. So it's like she wasn't hearing it, but I was knocking really hard, like open the door. So finally she did manage to open, but this thing was still coming. Mind you, this thing was still coming really fast. So as she opens the door, I look at myself, her holding me. As I the moment I just look at myself and see myself of her holding me, I wake up and look at, like, it's crazy, man. Bruh, it's crazy. Anyway, man, I'm gonna make a part 2 of this video. The story doesn't end there, bruh. So if y'all want to hear the second part of this story, just comment down below and let me know, man. So yeah, man, it's Smith. We keep it fresh, no cap. And I'm gonna see you on the next one. Goodbye. Stay toasty, stay fresh.